Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Life and Drawing, podcast number 25. And if my voice sounds extra sultry, it's because I have the cold, flu, whatever. So I'm congested. And what time is it? It's currently 3:38 in the morning. Yeah, I woke up at I think it was 2:25, and I actually felt rested. And I don't know if that's because of the nighttime medication, the CBD gummies, so I thought, well, I'm thinking I may just go back for another, maybe a cat nap, a 2 hour nap. But I needed to make another podcast video. This is podcast number 25. Sorry. and and this should be a quicker, a shorter video. So I've looked at the videos on YouTube, and normally even with 460p, I don't know what I'm sketching. I just started moving my hands. Normally with I think, yeah, is it 460? Yeah, 460. It's not really that bad, but with my screen recordings, and I'm just quick time player. I have Elgato HD recording device, but I've tried everything, and it's just not, for whatever reason, working with my setup. I'm drawing on a Cintiq. It's connected to my my Apple Mac ProBook, and yeah, I just can't get it to. I can get it to connect to where I can see, or I can have access to another screen, but it's not the screen that I want to have access to, and I don't know if that makes any sense. But so, because I know not everyone has access to high-speed internet, and to use your data plan, having a higher resolution will just eat through that data plan. So most of the videos look better at 720p and higher. But I don't like it because, at 460p, I sometimes watch videos at that just to conserve, because I'm in a rural area. Well, I'm doing like air quotes because it's really not that rural, but it's a county. And so we don't have access to like high speed internet, even like Chantel, even other than HughesNet, which I've heard is horrible, and I've been tempted many times to give in, but praise Yahweh, I have not succumbed to those temptations. And so yeah. So anyway, I don't know how I got. Oh yeah. So if you come across the resolution and it's at 420p and it's very fuzzy, I'm just trying to figure out a way to upload a video that won't be so downgraded in its visual. So I'll have to figure a way to do that. I don't have a camera where I could shoot at the screen or connect to this monitor, and So I'm gonna have to just troubleshoot that some more, because it would be nice if I can record with my Elgato, because I mean, it should be like one for one. It'll be a bit more enjoyable experience. Granted, the visuals is not the main thing that we're here for, but I would hate to have that be a deterrent from someone wanting to listen to the videos and interact with the comment section once I have a comment section going. So I don't know how I got to a coconut tree, but here it is. That's one thing I haven't really drawn for a very long time, are coconut trees. And of course, those who may be new, I was born and raised in the Bahamas, and so there's coconut trees galore. I feel like everywhere I lived, I had some form of coconut tree or palm tree in my yard. And so, coconuts, man, particularly jelly coconuts, for those who don't know, they call it jelly because the flesh that you can eat after you've barked the coconut, and bark means peeling away so let's say this is a coconut here, and I'll get to our topic. This is a coconut here. So you have, you have this sort of thing here, and this wiry vine-like thing. That's pretty strong because it's up here, so it's holding the coconut attached to here, type thing. And so barking is barking this outer skin, this outer layer, and it can be green if it's a young coconut, and sometimes it can stay a greenish to a tan like color, and once it gets like light tan, brown, that means it's pretty much a dry coconut. It's not going to be jelly. There may still be coconut water, but it may not be the best tasting coconut water. And so, usually the best coconut water is when this is yellow, just like a yellowish golden color. And that's when it's sometimes jelly, and sometimes there's nothing. It's just the water and the inside of the coconut. Because once this layer is peeled away, you get this sort of, if I could do like a cross section. I mean, and you can Google this. I mean, that way you can get full color. But you have this sort of. This is dark. That's the hard skin, the hard shell of the coconut, and then so that's like saying if this is like peel away type thing, and you've barked that, but you still have this remaining. So that'll be the outer shell, the outer inner shell, and then here's where coconut water and the flesh, and that's what you can eat. And sometimes when it's thick like that, that's hard, and you can grate it. You can just bite it and eat it. Yeah, or like you can grate it and then squeeze it, press it to create coconut milk and stuff. So yeah, but that was a huge tangent, and I said this video was going to be short. Maybe I'll have to incorporate some of my island life experiences in an episode. Be like, what was it like living on an island? I could probably have a series of podcast episodes with that. So, yeah. So anyway, enough of that. On to the topic and at hand, and it is tough personalities. Tough personalities. Uh, basically like how to deal with tough personalities. Um, yeah, you know, what does one do to to embrace a person that has a just a rough outer shell, like some folks like to say, because it's usually hard to embrace and welcome someone with a tough outer shell, because there's usually a wall, and on top of the wall there's barbed wire, and so it just seems very menacing to reach out to someone with sad personality, and particularly if they have an A-type aggressive personality where they're very bombastic with their opinions and views, and 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 usually in that case they can be very confrontational, and if you're the polar opposite, that just increases the tension, and the challenge. And if you share a similar personality, that increases the tension to the other degree, where there's potential for fireworks. And so yeah, so what do you do? In my experience, because I think I've shared this before, I'm very introverted. I could carry a conversation if needed. I think that's why, for folks who may not know that I am introverted, or at least that I consider myself to be introverted, would be surprised or would deny my assertion that I'm introverted, because they're like, "Oh no, you talk and you get along with folks," and I do, but by default, I'll be fine just chilling by myself. And so, but I am. Um, and I'm sorry, like I'm erasing stuff. I'm with the medication, and it's just over the top stuff. I I don't feel completely focused, and I feel bad doing this podcast. It's not half-hearted, but I want to do it. I just want to keep consistent, even if I'm feeling crappy to some degree. So this podcast is getting longer and longer, and I haven't really drawn anything of significance. So, but yeah, so I think it's crucial, first thing, just to recognize the social cues, and by that, like, are they an A-type personality? Are they super aggressive? Are they passively aggressive? And that helps with determining how you will engage sad personality. Right? If they're super aggressive, you equally being aggressive most times will just fuel the disconnect. And I don't want to jump around too much, but I'll get into you not becoming like a doormat. But in this first analysis point, you want to recognize what type of personality, this social cue personality this person has, and so that was a lot of person. So yeah, so if they have a type A, and they demand a a presence, stage, attention, or if they um, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? If it's fairly like subterfuge in their approach of um, disagreeing with you or with, but and this is particularly like in a work environment. I mean, this can be any environment, but let's just say it is a work environment, or for those who are still in school, your school environment, and so whether that's high school, college, middle school. So yeah, what are some of their social cues? Because then that's going to help you along the way to the second thing of accepting their personality. Okay, so they are type A aggressive. They demand attention. Um, uh, and what do you do with that? Um, yeah, do you give in? My recommendation would be no. I think you can be gracious, but yet still steadfast and firm um, without you relinquishing your own personality. And I think that's crucial because we never want to just give up our personality, our viewpoint, if someone else is much louder or more aggressive with theirs. Um, you know, everyone's really entitled, even how wrong it could be, to their viewpoints, and so you don't want to just give up yours, because then you give up ground, you potentially lose any any I don't want to come across as dogmatic, but you potentially just lose ground and stabilizing your personality with that person's, with that individual's personality. And by that I mean, you don't stand your ground, then you potentially lose the respect. It gets worse. The person is further fueled to behave the way they have been, to speak the way they have been, to express themselves in the manner that they have been. And to avoid that, when it's time to be assertive, you be assertive. And you can do that by being gracious um, and not being a doormat. Because the minute you become a doormat, then it's an uphill battle, figuratively and literally from that. So, so you don't want to give in to a personality or say whatever, play it off. When there's times when something needs to be addressed, we should address it. Keeping short accounts, and then that way you establish your ground as well, and whether the person likes you or respects you from a position that's favorable, at least they'll know that, oh hey, Michelo stands his ground, and they can't boss you around. So so that's crucial. And then thirdly, and again I apologize, it's fairly disjointed, but man, I guess that Theraflu daytime, that's kicking in. I'm not as congested, which is nice. But talking for a longer period of time, um, it it catches up. So, uh, so firstly, recognizing social cues, what type of personality this tough individual, this tough personality this individual has. If it's super aggressive, if it's passively aggressive, accepting that personality. Second step, without relinquishing our personalities and our identity. Uh, you know, being gracious but yet still firm. And then thirdly, what by doing that, we stand our ground and we maintain our principles. We maintain um, our identity, and uh, and in most cases, we're not being antagonistic even to that individual who has a tough personality. And so that way, um, you know, you're standing above the fray. You're still maintaining you're still maintaining uh, your principles, your 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 grounds, um, but yet you're not doing it in a antagonistic way, and and sometimes that can open up the eyes to this individual, particularly if they do have an objective spirit. They can say, oh, yes, maybe I got to work on that. I'm just really, opinionated, or, oftentimes I speak before I truly think. And so sometimes with us taking a stand can help the person see where their faults lie. And we all have faults. And and so, but for this individual, it helps them see, oh, yeah, I was, that was kind of douchey, the way I behaved and or what I said, and I wasn't caring or checking or anything like that, um, and and it's not so much as, oh, hey, that's a win, but it is a positive. Um, it is a positive progression, and you and this individual working amicably or schooling amicably. Or it may just be where it's just a team project, and hey, and it's a limited experience, but then at least that limited experience is not like hell, and it can actually be beneficial and enjoyable, and so and and honestly, I mean, all experiences, even if you apply some of these thoughts and principles, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be enjoyable, because everyone's different, and some people will respond differently and will not yield their position or their thought processes for anything, and folks like that are on their own journey, just like we all are, and all you can do in situations like that is to, if you're a believer, you just pray for those individuals, pray for yourself as well to deal with them, like I said, in a manner that is gracious, but yet still firm, in a manner that won't affect your testimony, um, and and in a manner that can still be effective to what you want to accomplish with that said individual. And so, um, so yeah, so that's all I have for today's episode. And like I said, sorry it's kind of short and all over the place, but I just like I said, I want to keep that consistency going, and I hope you guys were able to use this. And if you do have a tough personality that you're dealing with at work, just give it time. A lot of times it's time. And like I said, what's key is you not giving in to said personality. You maintain your viewpoints that you have, and so that way you're not losing yourself to that individual or individuals. You're still being who you are, I think, which is key and important. And then you just, take it from there. And if they don't change, then they don't change. That's really not up to you. You've done your part, so to speak, by just giving them an opportunity to re-examine what they've been doing. And like like we talked about, if they're objective, they'll see the error in their ways. And sometimes it can reveal an error in our way too. Like it can be where, hey, we can't be too close-minded either. And that can be a great opportunity of growing, where you grow in appreciating different personalities and how to handle them. And then the person growing and recognizing that they don't need to be an aggressor all the time. They can relax, let their hair down, so to speak, and it's all right, and so you never know, and it's not always easy. It's usually easier to just step away and find your own spot and just be like, whatever, I'm not going to deal with this person. I'm just going to avoid them. And if I have to work with them, then whatever, So that's not going to be healthy, because we're not always going to be able to just run away and ignore. And then we miss opportunities of growth. Growth and just being able to deal with a different personality, stretching our own personalities and our own biases and preconceptions, and just makes for a more rounded person. So yeah, tough personalities. How do you deal with them? What are some of your experiences with a tough personality, or maybe a few tough personalities, whether it was at work, a summer job, or you're still in high school, or perhaps college, or even family, right? And so thanks for bearing with this episode 25 and my somewhat disjointed focus, but thanks for viewing. Make sure to crush that like button, even if it may be a tough personality. Just go in graciously but yet firmly and press that like button. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'd like to get to like 10 subscribers, please. Be sure to check out my Patreon page. That's where you can support this great work. And you can follow me on Facebook as well. That's facebook.com /Michel O'Lully. And also you can follow me on Instagram as well. and that's at Michelle Lully also. So thank you guys. Have a great morning, day, afternoon, or night. Peace.